Dear students of BA program English 4th semester, in my previous video I discussed the summary of the poem Ode to Autumn by John Keats. Today I am going to explain the text stanza-wise, line by line. I hope you all have your text. Just a little advice, while going through my video, keep the text with you so that you can have a better understanding. Okay, so let's start. See the very first line of the stanza. Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. Here, autumn is described as the season of fog and soft and ripe fruits. Close bosom friend of the maturing sun. So here the sun is called as the friend of autumn because sunlight helps the fruits to ripen, and that's why it is called a very close friend of autumn. And they are conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run. And here sun is conspiring with the season autumn how to load and how to bless. That means how to make the fruits ripe and tasty. With fruits the vines that round the thatch eaves run. Here vines means the vine creepers that run along the overhanging edges of the roofs of thatch cottages. So here we see the vine creepers that are hanging along the edges of the roofs of the cottages. To bend with apples the most cottage trees. And to bend here means in the autumn the branches of apple trees are often bowed nearly to the ground with the weight of their fruits. Actually, again we can see the same illustration appears that what is that? That is they are conspiring. The season and the sun, they are plotting with one another how to bend the branches of the trees with the weight of fruits. And in autumn the branches of apple trees are often bowed nearly to the ground with the weight of their fruits. Most cottage trees means moss covered trees growing around the cottages and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core. So make the fruits ripen thoroughly. That is, they are making each and every fruits ripen thoroughly to the very core. And fill all fruits with ripeness to the core, as I told you just now. To swell the gourd, the plum, the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to set budding more, and to cause to blossom, okay, and increase the size of the gourd. Gourd means the pumpkin. So this sun is plotting with autumn how to make the fruits ripen and how to increase the size of the fruits like gourd, and to swell the gourd, that is increase the size of the gourd, and the plum, the hazel shells means fill the shell of the hazelnut with a sweet kernel. Kernel means the soft part within the shell of a nut. Next line, to set budding more. To set budding more here means that is to cause to blossom the flowers of autumn. And still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease. So we see that in the autumn there are plenty of flowers, and bees think that summer is still continuing because summer is associated with flowers in the mind of the bees. And this autumn, in autumn we can see there is a plenty of flowers, and flower means honey, and that is the food for the bees. And that's why the bees think that summer is still continuing, because summer is already associated with flowers in the mind of the bees. For summer has overbrimmed their clammy shell. Overbrimmed means filled. So here we can see that summer filled the sticky cells of the honeycomb to overflowing. That is, it is overbrimmed with the honey. And clammy means sticky. Okay. So this is the stanza. This is the lines. This is the first stanza. And we can see that this particular poem, this ode to autumn, is the last and the most perfect of Keats's ode. It celebrates autumn in its glory and beauty. The very first stanza, we see that this stanza gives us sensuously beautiful pictures and convey to us the full ripeness of autumn. Again, we see Keats's sensuousness is in evidence here. His description of the different ripe and juicy fruits like grapes, apples, pumpkins, nuts appeal to our senses of sight, smell and touch. The heavily stressed words like load, bless, bend, swell, plump and the attendant images carry strong physical sensations. Not only that, this very stanza also illustrates Keats' Hellenism. Now, what is Hellenism? Let me tell you briefly. Hellenism is the study or imitation of ancient Greek culture. Since Hellenism refers to the Greek art, customs and culture, particularly in regard to its influence, Keats is a Hellenist in the sense that he made an attempt to propagate Greek culture and ideals through his poetry. And we see this Hellenism in this first stanza. His attitude to nature is essentially Greek. You can see that. Like the ancient Greeks, he accepts the abundant gifts of autumn with a feeling of blessed thankfulness. So students, this is the first stanza I discussed. So in my next video I'll explain second stanza of the poem. So let it be up to this much, and just listen to this video carefully and attentively. Thank you.